Picture this. It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed next to your husband of 7 years. He thinks you're asleep. You hear him whisper into his phone, "I miss you so much, baby. I can't wait to hold you again." Your heart stops. Your breath catches, but you don't move. You don't confront him. Instead, you hit record on your phone, hidden under your pillow, and you let him keep talking? Now imagine his face 3 weeks later when that recording plays through the Bluetooth speaker at your anniversary dinner, in front of his parents, your parents, and his lover's husband. That's exactly what I did. And if you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted completely, if you've ever wanted to see a cheater face the consequences of their lies, this story is for you. Here's what everyone tells you when you discover infidelity. Confront him immediately. Demand answers. Cry, scream, throw him out. That's the advice. React emotionally, let your pain drive your decisions, and deal with the fallout later. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do when you discover betrayal is absolutely nothing. At least, not right away. Sometimes justice requires patience, planning, and the perfect moment to strike. My name is Rachel, and I'm about to tell you the story of how I went from being the unknowing wife lying next to a cheating husband to orchestrating the most unforgettable anniversary dinner in family history. And before you judge me for what I did, understand this. I gave him every chance to come clean. He chose to lie to my face instead. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this happened. The discovery, the investigation, and the moment everyone at that dinner table heard my husband's voice confessing his love to another woman. But more importantly, I'm going to show you the 3 critical decisions I made that turned my heartbreak into leverage, and why sometimes the truth needs an audience to have real consequences. Let's get into it. Let me paint you the picture. I met my husband, Marcus, 9 years ago at a medical conference. I'm a nurse practitioner. He's a pharmaceutical sales rep. We had that instant connection everyone talks about, finishing each other's sentences, laughing at the same jokes, feeling like we'd known each other forever. We got married 2 years later, built a life together, a beautiful home in the suburbs, 2 dogs. We were trying for a baby. From the outside, we were the perfect couple. From the outside. About 8 months ago, things started changing. Marcus was on his phone more, working late more often. He started going to the gym at weird hours, 5 a.m. or 10 p.m., never the same time twice. When I'd ask about his day, his answers got vague. Fine, busy, same old stuff. The man who used to tell me everything suddenly had nothing to say. But here's the thing. I'm not a paranoid person. I don't go through phones. I don't check receipts. I trusted him completely. So I ignored the little voice in my head that said something was wrong. I pushed down the anxiety. I told myself I was being insecure. I was wrong. That night, the 2 a.m. phone call changed everything. I'd woken up to use the bathroom. When I came back to bed, Marcus was on his side, facing away from me, phone pressed to his ear, whispering. At first, I thought it was a work emergency. Then I heard the tone. Soft, intimate, loving. Words he used to say to me. I froze. My brain couldn't process what I was hearing. This had to be a mistake, a misunderstanding. But then he said her name. Vanessa, I promise. We'll figure this out. I just need a little more time. I felt like I'd been punched in the chest, but instead of screaming, instead of ripping the phone out of his hand, I did something that would change everything. I reached under my pillow where I'd left my phone charging, opened the voice memo app, and hit record. For the next 12 minutes, I captured everything. Every I love you, every she has no idea, every promise he made to leave me soon. When he finally hung up and settled back into bed, he had no idea that his marriage had just ended. He also had no idea that I was about to become the most strategic woman he'd ever underestimated. Here's where I made my first critical decision. I didn't confront him. Not that night. Not the next morning when he kissed me goodbye and said, "Love you, babe." Like nothing had happened. Not that week. Not even that month. You might be thinking, Rachel, why would you stay silent? Why wouldn't you demand answers? Here's why. Because I knew Marcus. I knew that if I confronted him with just a recording and my emotions, he'd do what every cheater does. Deny, minimize, gaslight. You're taking it out of context. It's not what you think. I was just venting to a friend. He'd make me question what I heard with my own ears. And even if he admitted it, what then? A tearful apology? A promise to end it? Couples therapy while I wondered every single day if he was still talking to her? No. I wasn't going to give him the chance to control the narrative. I was going to gather every piece of evidence until the truth was so undeniable that he couldn't spin it, couldn't minimize it, couldn't make himself the victim. So that's exactly what I did. This is the principle that saved my sanity and strengthened my case. When you discover betrayal, your first move shouldn't be confrontation. It should be documentation. Over the next 3 weeks, I became a detective in my own marriage. I checked our cell phone records online. Hours of calls to one number, Vanessa's number. I looked at our credit card statements, dinners at restaurants we'd never been to together, hotel charges on nights he claimed he was working late. Flowers I never received. I created a Gmail account he didn't know about and forwarded myself every piece of evidence. I took screenshots. I saved receipts. I built a timeline. And here's what I discovered. This wasn't a new thing. This had been going on for 7 months. 7 months of lies. 7 months of him coming home to me after being with her. 7 months of me being a complete fool. But I also discovered something else. Something that would become the key to everything. Vanessa was married. Her husband's name was Derek. I found her Facebook profile, saw their wedding photos, their anniversary posts, their whole perfect life on display, which meant Marcus wasn't just betraying me, he was helping Vanessa betray someone else. 2 marriages, 2 unsuspecting spouses, and neither of us had any idea. That's when the plan started forming in my mind, because I realized something important. The truth doesn't just need to come out. It needs to come out in a way that makes hiding impossible, that makes denial impossible, that forces everyone involved to face what they've done. I needed witnesses. I needed an audience. I needed a moment so public and so undeniable that there would be no sweeping this under the rug. And then I remembered. Our anniversary was coming up. Our 7th wedding anniversary. Marcus had already suggested we do something special with family. He wanted to take me and both sets of parents to our favorite steakhouse, the same restaurant where he'd proposed. How romantic. How perfect. How absolutely perfect for what I had planned. Here's where I made my second critical decision. I didn't just plan to expose him. I planned to expose him strategically. I reached out to Vanessa's husband, Derek. I found him on LinkedIn, sent him a message from a fake account. You don't know me, but I have information about your wife that you need to see. I half expected him to ignore it or block me. Instead, he responded within an hour. Who is this? I told him the truth. Well, most of it. I told him I'd discovered my husband was having an affair with his wife. I sent him some of the evidence. Not all of it, just enough to prove I wasn't some crazy person. We talked on the phone. He was devastated, angry, in shock, just like me. And when I told him what I was planning for the anniversary dinner, when I asked him if he wanted to be there to hear the truth himself, he didn't hesitate. Tell me when and where. So I set it up. I confirmed the reservation at the steakhouse for our anniversary exactly 3 weeks after that 2 a.m. phone call. I invited Marcus's parents. I invited my parents. Everyone thought we were celebrating 7 years of marriage. Marcus was excited. He kept talking about how much he loved me, how lucky he was, how he couldn't wait to celebrate us. The cognitive dissonance was almost funny. Almost. The morning of the dinner, I went to the restaurant early. I talked to the manager, explained that I wanted to play a special anniversary message during dessert. I handed him a USB drive with an audio file. He thought it was going to be a sweet montage or a love letter. I smiled and said, "It's definitely going to be memorable." I tipped him $200 to make sure the sound system was working perfectly. He promised the whole restaurant would hear it clearly. Perfect. That evening, I got dressed up, put on the dress Marcus loved, did my makeup, smiled at him when he said I looked beautiful. We drove to the restaurant together, his hand on my knee, completely clueless. When we arrived, both sets of parents were already there. Hugs all around, champagne ordered, everyone talking about what a wonderful couple we were, how inspiring our marriage was, how they hoped we'd have many more years together. I smiled through all of it. Marcus gave a little speech about how I was the love of his life, his best friend, his everything. His mother cried happy tears. My father shook his hand. The waiters brought out our meals. Everything was perfect. Everything was exactly as I'd planned. Except for one thing Marcus didn't know about. At a table in the corner, partially hidden behind a decorative plant, sat Derek, Vanessa's husband, waiting, watching, ready for the truth. Dinner was almost over. Dessert had been served, a chocolate lava cake with happy anniversary written in raspberry sauce. Marcus was holding my hand across the table. His father was in the middle of toasting to many more years of happiness. That's when I gave the signal to the manager. A small nod. He understood. The background music faded out, and then through the restaurant's speaker system, crystal clear for everyone to hear, came Marcus's voice. I miss you so much, baby. I can't wait to hold you again. The table went silent. Marcus's face went white. His mother looked confused. My mother's smile froze. But I just sat there, holding his hand, looking right into his eyes as his own voice continued. Vanessa, I promise, we'll figure this out. I just need a little more time. 12 minutes. I played the entire 12-minute recording. Every I love you, every complaint about me, every promise he'd made to her, every detail of their affair. His father stood up halfway through, face red with rage. My mother started crying. Marcus tried to grab my phone, thinking I was controlling it somehow. Rachel, stop this, please. I can explain. But I wasn't controlling anything. The recording was on the restaurant system, and I just looked at it and said, explain to everyone here, Marcus. Explain how you've been sleeping with Vanessa for 7 months. Explain how you called her while I was lying right next to you. Explain how you were planning to leave me. Go ahead. We're all listening. The restaurant had gone completely silent. Other diners were staring. Waiters had stopped moving. And Marcus just sat there, unable to speak, unable to deny what everyone had just heard in his own voice. That's when Derek stood up from his corner table and walked over. Hi, I'm Derek, Vanessa's husband. Well, soon-to-be ex-husband. I'm guessing you're Marcus? The look on Marcus's face was beyond description. He hadn't just been exposed to our families. He'd been exposed to the other betrayed spouse, in public with undeniable evidence. In front of everyone he wanted to impress. There was no talking his way out of this. No minimizing. No gaslighting. Just truth, consequences, and witnesses. This is what matters. I didn't destroy my husband because I'm vindictive. I exposed him because he deserved to face the truth he'd been hiding. While he was planning his future with another woman, I was planning to make sure that future came with consequences. While he thought I was clueless, I was building an airtight case. When someone betrays you, you have two choices. You can let them control the narrative with trickle truth and manipulation, or you can present the facts in a way that makes denial impossible. I chose facts. I chose witnesses. I chose truth. And by the way, there's one more thing you should know. 2 days after the anniversary dinner, Marcus moved out. His parents wouldn't speak to him. My parents helped me file for divorce. The proceedings were the fastest I've ever heard of. When your lawyer can present time-stamped recordings, credit card receipts, and phone records of a 7-month affair, there's not much to argue about. I got the house. I got a very favorable settlement. Marcus got to explain to everyone he knows why his marriage imploded at an anniversary dinner. As for Vanessa and Derek, they're also divorced now. Derek sent me a thank you card, which was surreal but appreciated. He wrote, "You gave me the truth when I needed it most." I'll never forget that. 6 months later, I heard through mutual friends that Marcus and Vanessa tried to make it work. Apparently, it turns out that relationships built on lies and betrayal don't have strong foundations. Who knew? They broke up within 3 months. Last I heard, Marcus is dating someone new, probably telling her how his crazy ex-wife ruined his life. I don't care, because I'm not his victim. I'm the woman who refused to be gaslighted, who trusted her instincts, who documented everything, and who made sure that when the truth came out, it came out loud. So, here's what you should take from this story. 1, trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. 2, evidence beats emotion every time. Document everything before you confront anything. 3, the truth isn't enough. The truth needs the right moment and the right audience to create real consequences. Don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to accept gaslighting, but you also don't have to react emotionally and lose your power. You can be strategic, you can be patient, you can gather your evidence, protect yourself legally, and then present the truth in a way that makes denial impossible. And when you do, make sure there are witnesses, because cheaters hate an audience. I'm not a victim of infidelity. I'm a woman who caught her husband cheating and made sure he faced the consequences in front of everyone who mattered. My name is Rachel, and thanks for watching. Remember, sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. Sometimes it's just playing back the truth and letting it speak for itself.